The invisible cost, air pollution, and the case for Pigovian taxes. Good morning. I'd like to begin by asking you guys to imagine a factory that produces cheap steel. It seems like a great business, but smoke from its chimney is causing asthma in the local community and contributing to acid rain. In economics, this smoke is a classic example of negative externality. It is a cost generated by production that is not paid by the producer, but by society, the victims who suffer the health consequences. Why does the free market fail to stop this? The problem lies in the gap between private cost and social cost. The factory owner only looks at his marginal private cost, labor, coal, and machinery. He ignores the damage to the air because his private cost is artificially low. He produces too much. If we look at the supply and demand diagram, the market equilibrium quantity is much higher than the socially optimal quantity. This overproduction creates a deadweight loss, a triangular area on the graph representing the welfare society losses, because the damage of that extra pollution outweighs the value of the steel produced. So, who gains and who loses? The producer gains profit, and consumers gain cheap goods. But they do so at the expense of everyone else's health. This is a clear market failure. How do we fix it? One approach is command and control. The government simply sets a rule, like you cannot emit more than 5 tons of smoke. While simple, this is often inefficient because it doesn't reward companies for doing better than the minimal standard. A far more elegant solution, championed by economists, is the market-based approach, specifically the Pigovian tax. The idea is simple. We put a price on the pollution. If the government levies a tax exactly equal to the external damage caused by the smoke, we efficiently internalize the externality. On our graph, this tax pushes the marginal private cost curve upward until it meets the social cost curve. Forced with this tax, the factory naturally reduces production to the socially optimal level. They are now paying the full cost of their actions. We see this working in the real world. The European Union's emissions trading systems, which we called ETS, or Taiwan's air pollution fees, are the examples. These policies have successfully lowered emissions by making it expensive to pollute. However, challenges remain, such as accurately calculating the cost of damage and political pushback from industries. Finally, we must consider the global picture. Pollution does not respect borders. If a country pollutes, the wind carries it to neighbors, creating an international externality. Since there is no world government to impose a global tax, this is hard to solve. However, international cooperation like the Paris Agreement or linked carbon markets can serve as a Pigovian mechanism. By agreeing that all nations will put a price on carbon, we can collectively correct this market failure, ensuring